everyone. Welcome to the next episode of Thrust Talks. I am Ria Karamkar from second year IT in Pune Vidyarthi Gruvas College of Engineering.
And I am Ritin Wadekar of SC ENTC, also from the Pune Vidyarthi College of Engineering and Technology.
So today we have with us Mandar Wagmare, who is the founder of Newton's Apple. So Mandar, we'll be starting with your interview now.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Um, Firstly, we'd like you to introduce yourself so that our audience would get to know you better.
Okay, so I'll make it as brief as possible. I have I have studied in PVG for the last 4 years. I'm a 19 batch pass out. I'm not very what do you say? Uh, uh, I'm not very experienced or such, but I have just passed out from the college. And as Ria mentioned, I have my startup founded when I was in the second year, and yeah, that is going on well. So uh, my startup works in computer security and IT solutions. Also, side by side, I have a job. Also, I'm a job goer as well as a startup person.
Okay. So since most of our audience is from college, we would like you to share your college experience with us.
College experience, as in, I'll just give a small idea of what my experience was and what I think that everyone should be doing actually in their college days. So, as far as my experience was concerned, I was one of the backbencher kind of person. I was seated always on the last benches. I would hardly attend any lectures, but of course, I won't promote that thing. See, it's different. It depends upon what goal you have, which you have to achieve. Let's for example say, when I was in the college in the first year itself, I had fixed it in my mind that I wanted to do something of my own. I didn't want to uh, fall into that same cliche procedure of having a job and do, and the life goes on, as I say that once a person falls into a job for the next 60 years, he is completely barred in the job and he cannot get out of that situation whatsoever. But after some time, I will be telling you that why going to a job is also an important part of the development. Let's focus on the part where I was in the college. So in the first year itself, I had fixed that I had to do something of my own, and I had a keen interest in the uh, computer field, basically security side. And frankly speaking, I was from an electrical background, so even my professors would suggest me at the end of first year that you can change your department still. But I thought it would be a great challenge to pursue a career in cybersecurity, a career in computer science, as well as have a degree in electrical. So I continued my degree in electrical, and side by side I had started working on my goals and my dreams. My hobby was cybersecurity, and I turned that hobby into an venture. So in college days, see, there was a rule of 75% attendance, which still persists, I guess. So
Yes, yes,
even
it
after
does.
all these things were there, my the staff who was involved with me, the teachers who were teaching me, they knew for quite sure that I was bunking the classes and I was not. What we say, I was not wasting my time as such, so they had that surety. So I was never one of the defaulters. Even if my attendance was below 15%, I was not a defaulter as such. So I would usually go to other colleges during my college hours. I would used to go to other colleges to deliver lectures and all, and that was quite appreciated by the staff. So it was a great learning experience. And my message to all would be that if you have anything in your mind, start as young as possible, because trust me, once you are out of the college, once you're out of that safe zone, it is terribly difficult to start something new. Forget about continuing something which you already have. Now it I can share my experience that at present the schedule has become such a mess for me that I can't even give a substantial amount of time to my family and to myself actually. But the thing is, we have time still when we are young. We can invest our time as much as possible in our dreams and hobbies. So I would suggest that till 25, 26, till you have got not much of responsibilities, we can develop ourselves as much as possible. So yeah, we can
Okay,
have the next question.
that was great. So you want everyone to start working at a very early age.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah. Okay.
start working, I won't say, but see,
Build
not
yourself.
everyone is, yeah, pardon.
Build yourself
Exactly,
from a
exactly.
very
Not
early
as
age.
in
Yeah.
work, but yeah, you have to grow, you have to start the development phase as soon as possible. Because people
Yeah.
think that 4 years of engineering are a piece of cake. Yeah, of course, it is a piece of cake, but the reason why it is a piece of cake is that person should develop himself. If you see an engineer, when an engineer is graduated, he can go into any kind of stream. So when the engineering is going on, when the graduation phase is going on, if you develop yourself in some other phase, if you develop yourself in some other field, then you have got a quite lot of scope to develop yourself outside.
Yes. Okay. So we have a next question. What was the idea behind your startup, Newton's Apple, and what services does it offer?
So frankly speaking, let's say this was kind of an accidental realization as such, because I had never thought of starting a startup with the name of Newton's Apple and all. It just happened consequently. So uh, uh, what happened was, in the first year when I was studying cybersecurity, I was just reading books and I was going through the online material, whatever is available. And at a particular point of time, I felt that this knowledge is going to be the future. This is what is going to be required in the future. So I think I should share it with someone. So I shared it with a few of my colleagues. They appreciated it, that you have got convincing power. You can talk very nicely. So why don't you give a lecture on this? So then I approached the college. But as I was in first year, and you know, right, the first year it's very difficult to achieve what do we say, permission for anything which you want to do. So in first year it was quite difficult for me. So I was trying to put proposals in our college itself, PVG itself. I was trying to put in proposals that I want to take a lecture. Can you please allow me? But of course, it was worthless. Then what I thought was, I'll keep on studying. At least there will be a time when this might be allowed. So the next year, in 2017, I guess, yeah, 2017 around July, I approached my department head and I said that I would like to take a lecture. So then one of the staff of my department, he was quite supportive. He knew my passion and my determination. So he supported, and he told the department head, that he told the HOD that let him do it. Let him do it at least once. We'll give him a chance. If he succeeds, then we will think of what can be done in the future. If it fails, then we will stop it here itself. So yeah, it was a very great opportunity, I would say, and it was a risk which the department had taken, because the department name was attached. So then the sir asked me, what would you like to name this thing? Because you're doing it as a person, but whenever you will give a certificate, you should have a company name. So then I didn't have a lot of brainstorming session to decide the name. I just said I would like to have it something which is unique. That is Newton's Apple, because Newton and Apple, see, Apple is nothing related to gravity, but with an apple, Newton could find the law of gravitation. So that's why I thought I'll name it as Newton's Apple. So yeah, I just registered my company, and the first lecture was taken on 9th September 2017 precisely. And the count for the lecture was, the people who had registered was around 70 to 75, and the capacity of the hall was just 40. So sir said that we'll take one, what we'll do is we'll have an experiment. If on the 9th of September your lecture is successful, then we can have the next lecture whenever it is possible. But if it is not successful at this time itself, whoever people are remaining, you will just give off the money to them. I said okay. So we had planned for 5 hours of lecture, the first lecture of
Okay.
5 hours. And surprisingly, that lecture went on for 8 hours constantly without the students getting bored. So the moment the lecture was over, sir came to me and said, I have booked the conference hall for 23rd September. And yeah, that was how the stepping stone of success started from there. So yeah, that
Okay.
was how it was started. And as far as other services are concerned, um, see, I tried to tap into the IT domain as much as possible. Wherever I could have my hand, I have tried to acquire that field, whether be it IT trainings, corporate trainings, then industrial trainings, workshops. These all are the workshops field. Then we have got you all know, right, Windows and Microsoft Office. We have
Yes,
got a
yes.
distributorship of that, so that we can supply the what we say, the products of Windows and Microsoft. So that's one part of that. And also we are into the security auditing domain, where companies require security audits to be done to test the security standard of their network or whatever infrastructure they have got. So we provide security audits for various customers. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. Okay, that was great to know about your company, about Newton's Apple. Thank you very much. Um, so my next question to you is, what is vulnerability assessment and penetration testing? I got to know
So
about it. You're
yeah,
working.
I won't go much into technical because uh, it's something. See, as I said, we are into the security auditing domain. So security auditing has got a technical name which we call it as VAPT, that is vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. A particular application is taken to find out its vulnerabilities, whatever are there, what are the loopholes in that application, and we use various tools. We are what we say, we are allowed to legally hack into the application to find out what are the various ways that the application can be hacked, so that once we know how it can be hacked, we can secure those patches, we can secure those loopholes from where we were being able to hack. So this procedure of VAPT is a very broad procedure. This is a very broad domain because you go to different industries. Different industries will have got different set of rules, set of policies which you have to follow. For like example, if it is a hospital, let's say, then you need to have a particular certification. If it is a military organization, you need to have some separate permissions. If it is an IT organization, so it goes on differing. So even if you develop a small application, a mobile app, let's say for example an Android application you have developed, so that Android application, how, what all are the ways that it can be hacked? So to try, we try to hack that application with the permission, with the consent of the creator. And once we hack it, we create a report and we submit that report for the complete fixation of that vulnerabilities. Once it is done, then we provide a certificate saying that this application is secure. So that is the main domain which my field, my startup is currently working in. Previously, it was trainings and other product activities, but now we are 60% into the service industry and 40% into the product industry.
Okay. So it's all about security.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was all about security. It will always be about security.
Security. Okay. Okay. That's great. That's okay. So, what are the challenges in cybersecurity and how do you cope up with it?
Uh, the time when I started this security thing, around 2017, when I started it, there was not much of the requirement of security in the industry. Because if you remember that time around 2017, we were still using Android 8 or something. Yeah. So we can compare the level of technology which was present at that time and the level of technology which is presented today. So the data science was not so developed. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, these all fields were like extinct at that period of time. Hardly few people knew about it, and those were the masters. So now what you can see is now every Tom, Dick, and Harry is in the domain, and everyone knows what is machine learning, what is AI, what is data science, and anyone can evolve into any being. Now simply if I give a knife in a person's hand, it is his choice whether to kill a person or to cook food about from that. So there are two ways everywhere. So even the people who are using machine learning and artificial intelligence doesn't mean they're using it for the constructive purpose itself. Because if you see, if I could develop an application which would just go on hacking applications constantly, an automated program, or let's say I will create an ML algorithm which will go on hacking various applications, so it can of course be destructive, it can cause a cyber espionage. So that is what we want to avoid. So there are lots of evolving problems which are coming into the industry. No industry is now, we can see that it is completely secure. Name one industry which does not require technology. A simple mobile is also a part of technology, so everyone uses a mobile, right? So
Yeah.
hacking can be done through a mobile also, and that's why the technology is increasing. Can we stop the growth of technology? Of course not. So this is how
No.
it is constantly growing, and we have to grow in the security domain also to curb those attacks.
Okay. Okay. So my part of the question is done. We have a small rapid fire round here. Like I will give
Okay.
you some situations of people, and you'll suggest them what you think.
Hmm.
Okay. So they are all college students, and I'll tell you how they are. So the first student we have, a student who thinks that attending lectures is everything he needs to succeed.
Okay, so that's it, right?
Yeah, attending lectures. He just attends lectures, all of the lectures, and he thinks that, yeah, this is what I need to succeed.
I won't say it's completely wrong. Uh, it is completely based on the perspective of the person. If there is a guy who is bookish, who has not got any other interest, then probably his definition of success will be that getting good grades and getting a good job with a good salary and settling in there for the next 60 years. So that is not, like, we can't say that that is not good or that is not a part of success. What I would say is everyone has got a point of view, right? So my point of view was that why my final goal is to do a business and I want to settle in that way. Because see, there are people, I'll tell you an example. If there are two people, one person is who gets bored very easily, and that kind of person is myself. I'm that kind of person who gets bored very easily with one kind of work. If you see, like, last 3 years I have not stayed in one domain. I have constantly evolved myself. I From trainings I went to product industry, I went to service industry. Now we are trying to create a product, so we are into manufacturing industry now. So this is constant evolving. I can't stay in one domain itself. But as I said, I am also a job goer. From last 1 year I'm doing the same job, and 1 year is still not over, and I'm still feeling like, when am I going to leave this job? So this is one point of view of a student. And other person is, okay, I want to go to I want to get good grades, I want to make my parents proud, I want to go to a job, I will do a job, and for the next 60 years I will go on increment and my family will be settled. And this is one point of view which people might have. It completely depends on the perspective of how a person perceives what success is. So if a person thinks in that, I will of course, if someone asks me what should I do, I will say follow what your heart says. You can just go in there and do whatever you want, because
Okay.
you do anything with determination, it will gain you success.
Okay. The next student, he thinks that academics is not essential at all.
Okay, so now you are talking about exactly opposite
Opposite.
scenario.
Yeah.
So I hope you got the answer, because the first question cleared both the scenarios. I gave you a example of two
Yeah. The
people.
example of both of them.
Exactly.
So you should
A
follow
complete
your heart.
unbiased. Yeah, pardon.
You should follow what your heart says.
Exactly. Yes, yes, yes. I
Yeah.
gave an
Okay.
unbiased example.
Okay. So the next student is who is busy building a resume in college itself, and he's excluding all the fun part of the college, like the college days, the cultural programs, and everything else. But he wants to just build up his resume. So what
Yeah,
would you
so
suggest him?
okay. I forgot to mention this part, the fun part of the college. in our previous discussion, in our previous conversation, trust me, you will regret not having this fun. Like whoever will be listening to this lecture, whoever will be listening to this webinar henceforth in the future, near future, or any other, even if my next generation is going to listen to this lecture, I will just say college life has got that part of fun which you will regret missing. You should never miss that part of fun. See, whatever be it, you can just take few hours out of your so-called busy schedule, and you can enjoy those days, you can enjoy those life, you can enjoy that life, because uh, we have got friends in college, right? From the first year to the last year, we have got friends who we say that we won't we ye dosti hum nahi todenge, and such kinds of friends we have, right?
Yes,
But
of course.
the moment you're out of the college, the moment you go to a job, one person is situated in Delhi, one is situated in Chennai, one is in Kerala. So even if you try, you cannot be connected constantly. Everyone has got a separate set of responsibilities. Some people have time, the working hours between, some people have got third shift, some first shift, second shift. So being in contact differs a lot. And if you say नहीं कॉलेज में तो सिर्फ पढ़ाई करना है, कॉलेज के बाद फुल मज्जा करेंगे, it is completely a myth. It cannot happen. And one more thing, the moment you're out of college, 2 years after, your parents will start saying that chalo shadi kar lo, and yeah, that will be the end of your what we say, the happy life, I'll say.
Okay. Um, okay, the next student is, so he or she wants to be an entrepreneur, but is
Mhm.
afraid of the failures, of the risks.
Mhm.
So what would you suggest to that student?
uh, you know what is the biggest risk? The biggest risk is not taking risk. If a person wants to succeed in his life, he has to take risk.
Yeah,
Anytime a person who is coming to an engineering college also, he's taking a risk, right? He's investing such a lot amount of money in the hope that he will do something better in his life. Do we know that what will be the outcome of the engineering what we are learning? See, I learned engineering, my colleagues also learned electrical engineering, but we all are in different fields. So it is a risk, right? We are taking a risk to define our future. So if we don't take a risk, then of course, then our growth is hampered at that point itself. And I won't say you should blindly take risk. There is a concept in management which we call as calculated risk. If you can calculate the outcome of a risk, you should take a calculated risk in such a way that your growth won't be hampered because of that, or whatever the loss will be, it won't be substantial loss. You would I would have given an example, but I'm not actually recalling a perfect example for calculated risk as such. If you are trying to invest 50,000 rupees in something, just an example, if you're trying to invest 50,000 something, make sure that your loss is hardly 2,000 rupees or hardly 3,000 rupees, so that what happens is, even if you don't get any profit, your loss should not exceed your invested capital. So that's how I will define it. So if a person has got an entrepreneur goal in his mindset, if he has got an entrepreneurial mindset, what I will suggest is, see bro, you can go whatever path you have chosen is a great path, of course. We will be discussing in the next conversation also, that what is the ideal path which a person should follow. But as far as this guy is concerned, in your case study, this guy should calculate the outcomes, like whatever he is planning to do in his startup, or whatever his entrepreneurial expectations are there, he has to draft it properly. He has to prepare a business plan. He has to ask hundreds of people about it. He has to place it in front of 100 people, and he has to uh, learn to listen what people are saying, what people view on it. I'm not saying that you have to be of that mentality like log kya sochenge. We are just taking in suggestions of what people think about it, because at the end of the day, though, those people are going to be your customers. So customer feedback before the service launch is also an important part of your entrepreneurial growth. So if you're doing it, you first try to calculate what will be the outcome. ऐसा ना हो कि 4 आने की मुर्गी और 8 आने का मसाला. So try to make it as much as profitable instead of going into the losses. Be practical.
yeah.